Don't look at yourself as a loan officer. You are a salesperson. Either you're an order taker or you're a salesperson. If you're an order taker, taking orders at the counter, you're paid accordingly. And you're just taking leads from people, looking at a rate sheet and giving a rate quote. That's an order taker, and that person will only have so much money that they can make. If you're a true salesperson, it does not matter what the lead, what the market, what the environment, you relish in the fact that you have an opportunity to close a transaction. All I need is that opportunity, an at-bat, a chance. And if I put in the work and I practice at my sale, I believe that I can come through often enough to make it work. Now, notice how I say often enough. The more at-bats I get, I don't need to bat 1,000. If I bat 300, it's the Hall of Fame in baseball. So all I have to do is get myself enough at-bats. Enough at-bats. All you need is enough ABCs. And if you have a mindset of a closing, you will close more often. So I love sales. I relish sales. I love the opportunity to compete with my better self against my last month. It's just fun. So today we're gonna bring the fun back to selling again because it's what we're here for. We're here to close transactions and be salespeople. So the quote I have today for you guys is, no is a temporary point of view that I'm going to change. When someone tells you no, don't run away and take no for an answer. Be willing to go out there. It's a temporary point of view that I'm willing to change. Think back to the first worst job that you had. My first worst job that I had was cleaning cars with a red wagon when I was 7 years old in my neighborhood, going door to door. And some people didn't want a car wash, but I had to convince them at 7 years old that I can clean their car and that the $5 I was gonna earn was well worth it. So no is not no. No is a temporary point of view that I believe I can change. And that's what sales is all about. We're not here for charity, but there's two sides of closing deals with as an art form that is serving your customer, but also closing deals. And you're both. You're a salesperson, you're a therapist, you're their best friend. There's an art to closing deals and closing a sale. It's about having an idea that I have to finish first. You either get the deal or you don't. You don't get paid based on applications, you get paid based on fundings and closings. So having a sales is having a mentality of always be closing. I love the always be closing because that's so true. People in this industry live for 30 days. I live for 30 years. I talk to a client, I know they're my 30-year relationship, that I'm gonna work for 30 years and massage for 30 years and help for 30 years and get deals for 30 years. But even in that vein, I never think I have it down. I'm always closing. To always be closing is that sales mantra. It's that mentality. In the modern age, studies show that lead generation, customer follow-ups, and strategy sessions are part of closing. It's the follow-up, it's the follow-through. That's what always be closing means. When someone says, let's go forward, that doesn't mean anything. That's just the first milestone. So a study that I researched this week that I gave to you guys was by CSOinsights.com. The study showed an independent research and data provider indicated that successful salespeople at the most 35% of the time spend their time on closing deals. The research also found that lead generation, consumer follow-up strategy, and planning sessions and administrative tasks comprised the lion's share of the salesperson's time. The best of you are only selling 35% of the time. Always be closing means always work on closing deals. If you want to make more money in this industry, close loans more often. Spend time closing. Spend time selling or learning how to sell. Stop processing paperwork, get yourself a support team, and go out there and sell. Don't go out there and chase a bunch of meetings that are promises that don't ever deliver, because we've all been there before where it's lunch and we promise to feel good about things and then a month later, nothing ever happens. Audit what you do every single day and always be closing. So in that vein of always be closing, I've got 5 rules. It's a mental state of mind. Every deal is dead until it funds to me. This will change everything for you. When you lose a deal at the end for a variety of reasons, cloud on title, borrower's not qualified, cosigner drops their credit scores, borrower goes somewhere else and gets a mortgage, that deal shouldn't disrupt your sales mantra because it's not even in the bank yet. You never lost a deal, you didn't have it anyways. Some deals don't close. So your mental state of mind must be always be closing. Get over the deal that you lost and get the next deal. Your biggest issue is the fact that you lost a deal that was never even your deal to begin with. Throw in 50, close 30, cash your check, call it a good day. That's the mentality of a salesperson. 5 rules of selling: increase value, be happy, follow up, leverage always wins, and then put the nail in the coffin. Increase value. Number 1, only pick up the phone for new business. If you're answering your phone, you're on someone else's agenda always. And if you're on their agenda, you're not always be closing. I only answer my phone if it's for new business. If someone wants an update, I've got a time block for that activity. But I'm not gonna rope myself into a roped up conversation on an update for 35 or 40 minutes. And then I lose all that sales momentum that I had juiced up in the morning by getting myself in the gym, getting in the office early, and game planning my day. No one is worth more than my time blocking. So increasing your value by picking up the phone only for new business. What you will find when you only answer the phone for new business is when you do call somebody back, they will say, "Thanks for calling me back." I've never heard someone say, "Hey, thanks for picking up the phone." It doesn't work that way. Have enough faith that when you call someone back, you're creating more value. Number 2, I kind of alluded to this already. Don't answer the phone, call back. Number 3, when you pass the loan off to your team, let the customer know that your partner, not your assistant, but that your partner will take it from there. If the person who has the deal that is on your team is your partner, not your assistant, the relationship and the respect that you've given is a lot more. Fourthly, put content out so the borrowers think more highly of you. I put out content on a daily basis so that when my borrowers are following me, they have more respect for me. If you aren't seen, you're invisible. When people are out of sight, they're out of mind. So when you don't put out content for your customers, they aren't thinking about you. When you put content out and thousands can see you, you're on top of mind. Don't you think when rates drop, they're gonna think about you? Or when someone says, I bought a home or I need a mortgage, they're gonna think about you? That's the point of putting out content. You're increasing your value. To be seen is to be heard and be used and understood. So putting out content is not, oh, I didn't get a lead today. Well, that's a different conversation about getting leads from content. That's another conversation which we'll have. But the point of putting out content is to be relevant and consistent. And then lastly, over-deliver, then make the ask for the referrals. But I will promise you that 99% of you are not asking for referrals. You're just not. You're closing deals and you're saying, congratulations, here's your steak knives. Steak knives aren't referral bait. Steak knives are for someone to think you did a good job. If you've ever bought someone steak knives or a closing umbrella or a barbecue gift bag, and then all of a sudden, someone that was a friend of theirs said, oh my gosh, I love those steak knives. Who's your loan officer? I have to know who they are and I need to get a loan from them. If that's the case, why do we do it? Why do we buy steak knives? Because someone trained us and said that's what you're supposed to be doing? That person was not a closer. They were probably working in marketing, making a cut off your steak knife that you sold to the borrower. So the referral program is what makes money. Our referral program is when the loan closes, you mail the client a letter to their office. They open the envelope. It's a thank you letter. In the letter is 20 Starbucks gift cards. Buy their entire office coffee, slap your business card to the Starbucks card, and they will hand out your card with money to 20 people that they know, like, and trust. That's how you get business. That's how you increase value, not by buying steak knives. So the first key to being a closer is to increase value. Once you've increased value, you have to be happy, and your clients must be happy. Everything in this world is the pursuit of happiness, unless you're so disciplined that you give up all the things that make you happy to make everybody else happy. And I've not met someone like that. Even myself, I want to be happy. I want to see people succeed, but I want my family to do well. So we're constantly in this pursuit of internal happiness. So are your customers. So if you know that you want to be happy as a human being, and you know that customers also want to be happy because they're customers, then why not focus on making them happy? Try smiling when you talk on the phone. People will hear the exuberance in your tone of voice if you start smiling. Be happy, smile when you're on the phone. Be excited about what you're saying. No loan is ever dead. It's an attitude. No's only a starting point. You have a long-term plan for your clients and you'll get them there. People know there's a plan. They can hold on to hope and happiness. How do you get a customer that's a 3.875 customer to refinance into a, call it 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6 higher rate to take cash out? You have a plan for them. If you leave it on the table and say, all right, Carolyn, you're at 3.875, I'm gonna give you 5.5 cash out, 30-year cash out your credit cards. She's gonna say, I don't want that rate, Freddie. That's too high of a rate. That's not creating a plan for them. It's always like, look, this loan today is gonna give you cash out, but it's accomplishing paying off all your bills and fixing your credit scores. And then I can come right back in 6 months and I can refinance you holding onto the market. Do you believe, Carolyn, that the rates are going up or going down? Oh, I believe rates are going down. I watch the news. Great. If you believe that, and I believe that, then our next loan is going to be probably even lower than 3.875, or at least very close to it. So I can get you the cash out you want, but I've got a plan for you to come right back around and lower your rate later, assuming the market cooperates. That's selling with a plan. Otherwise, you're not closing the client. You're just giving them, taking an order. Hey, Carolyn, I can give you 5.5%. I don't want 5.5%. Okay, well, great. Go find somebody else. I'm making them happy by saying, look, we have a plan. Hang in there. The next loan after this loan is going to be better. That's 2 for 1. I'm going to get 2 loans out of it. You can go 0 for 2 or you can go 2 for 0. So make sure you have a plan. The consumer must come first. You are happier when the consumer is your consumer. And I just try not to lose any deals. If I can keep the customer happy, even if I've got to eat it on the chin and make little money on a deal, that customer is happy and their happiness allows me to get more deals done. And I make sure they know, look, I am your money. I work for a bank that's got $500 million in warehouse lines or $5 billion in warehouse lines, who knows? But we've got plenty of capital to spend. I treat my bank's money like it's my own. My bank to me is my investor. It's my business and I want to raise capital and they're my investor. I must take care of their money, treat it very well, but my bank's money is my money. And when you speak and you preach like it's your money, you have a little bit of confidence. Think about the mindset shift for a minute. Let's assume that you went to a bank and said, you know what, I want to start a lending company and I want to lend loans to consumers. I've been doing this for 15 years. I know what the hell I'm doing. And I've got a whole team of underwriters and processors and licensing people and compliance that'll make sure it's all good. I just need the money. And the bank goes, you know what? Here you go. $500 million to lend. That's what they basically do to us. $500 million to lend. If you can lend it all 1 month, great. We'll take a small split as a return and the rest is all yours. That's what we do. So treat it like it's your money. Like you raise capital for your business. I'm lending it on the street to customers and I don't need permission. My investor gave me guidelines. If I follow the guidelines, I can lend at my discretion. And if my customers know that I am the money, then I'm gonna trump Open Door, OfferPad, Purple Bricks, Zillow Offer, any small-time broker, any loser lender, any in-house Bank of America person who doesn't have that same prowess. Because I have the money and I speak with confidence. And when I have confidence and I've got the money, I make customers happy. Now, once you've set the table, you've made them happy, this is where we all fall off the wagon. It's the follow-up. Have your team CC you on every single request to the customer via text and email when there are things needed. The only reason why loans don't close from the time we make the sale until the time it funds is processing. Whether borrowers lag or we lag, it's a lag. When I text a customer, say, Jennifer, what the hell? Get my team your documentation, it comes off differently than when even my partner does it. So I make sure that my team copies me on every single email where they're wanting something from a borrower. I can take 2 seconds and chime in, yeah, what she said. That's all it takes sometimes. Or a text, please cooperate. And that's all it takes sometimes. Because although I'm not selling, I'm still involved in managing my process. At the end of my day, when I'm checking my emails and getting back to customers, I'm making sure my customers are responding to my team. I don't just let it go. I time block my follow-up. Small communication really matters. And the stats will tell you it's 8 to 12 follow-ups to close a deal. We think it's 8 to 12 follow-ups to get a deal. But that's not always the case. Once you get a deal, you must continue following up until it funds. Now it comes down to the most important part of any relationship: leverage. Leverage wins. Every customer becomes your customer for life. That's where we have to change our mentality. We've been in this mindset of next 30 days, next 30 days, next 30 days, forever. How long are you gonna do that for? For your entire life until you're 60, and then you have no clients in your database because all you've been doing have been going back to partners asking with your hand out for more business? How about get business, give it back to your partners, and have leverage over your partners? If the customer is happy, that's all that matters. Listening gives you the leverage. Here's a tip for you guys. If you win with heart and passion, that's a relationship that lasts a lifetime. Most LOs don't get that. You just take the 1003 and you move it on. Listen with your brain. I'm able to accurately pair it back to the customer the facts and figures of what matters to them the most. I listen with my heart. That's different. I'm able to sense their emotional needs. When I'm talking to a customer about why they're doing this, that's when I break it down. And I listen. And by listening to why they're actually there, you insulate yourself from all these rate people that come in, because I'm gonna find out why he is here. And I'm gonna create leverage that allows me to win. Most of you guys don't understand the art in always be closing. I'm not just taking an application. In my mind, I'm closing this person on me. When you stop closing, you stop winning and you lose leverage. And then when you lose leverage, you lose. I know my customers' inner workings, whether they love me or hate me sometimes. It doesn't matter, we're family, because I know where you started. And we may have times where rates don't cooperate or I can't get the loan you want. But my clients understand that I'm always there for them because I was there in the very beginning, and whatever that beginning is, if it wasn't your first home, maybe it's your fourth home, maybe it's the first time it was on a refi, but I'm still gonna find out, why are we here today? What do you need and how can I help you? So to finish this out, it's about putting the nail in the coffin. And I make sure that Freddie knows that when we close Freddie, I cannot wait to do this again. I actually enjoyed this process with you. This 30 days was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was ups and downs, but I got to know your banking. I found out where you have your money at. I looked at your tax returns. I learned about your business. It was actually a lot of fun to do this with you. You don't do this every day, so it's kind of a fun ride on this train. Not every ride at the amusement park is a fun. They can be scary. You can go up, you can go down, you can go left, you can go right, but at the end of it, you look back and like, that was a fun experience. And the goal is to develop a light-hearted relationship. Don't take this too seriously. Don't take loans so seriously. Don't take life so seriously. Life is way more than loans. It's about your attitude. And to get them to win for 30 years. If you can get them to win for 30 years and have a light-hearted relationship, have candor back and forth, they're a gold mine. Realize you're a salesperson. You aren't a loan officer. This isn't Starbucks where they're ordering off of a menu. If that's the case, they're gonna go for the lowest rate, and that's all that matters. And how we win this game in the long run against these online lending companies, lead generators, Zillows, or etc., is by putting the nail in the coffin and having an always be closing mentality, because our competition is never closing. They're only taking orders. So take it to the mat. That's all I got today. It's been a lot of fun. See you again, and let's go crush it. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. We had a ton of fun shooting it. We've got a lot more content like it coming out, so stay tuned. If you're a loan officer or realtor and want my team to handle your social media, click on the button below.